Hey guys, it's Kiki. Um, I wanted to talk today about suicide, depression, stuff like that. It is National Suicide Prevention Month, and it is coincidentally also Recovery Month, September. So, um, for me, those two things go hand in hand. And I've been wanting to talk about depression and suicide for a while, and I thought this is really the time to do it. And it's really not an easy thing to talk about. There's a lot of stigma attached to mental health, along with addiction. Um, it's actually harder for me to talk about my mental health issues than it is to talk about my addiction. So, anyways, here we go. So, a lot of people, my close friends and family, know what I've been going through and the struggles I've had with my mental health, feeling depressed and suicidal. But a lot of people who know me through the years probably wouldn't have a clue that I felt that way. I'm able to put on a mask and present like I am happy and life is wonderful and all that jazz. So, and I think that's the thing with a lot of people who struggle with mental health issues is that they can present themselves a certain way. And so when somebody commits suicide, people are shocked, because we want to hide that. We want to pretend like everything's okay, even when it's not. Um, so I got sober about 8 years ago, a little bit more. And so I started working on myself, working on my addiction and all that jazz. So that was the beginning of my journey. I still struggled a lot for the first 5 years in sobriety. I struggled a lot with my mental health issues. So I focused really on staying sober for those first 5 years and didn't really concentrate much on my mental health. So that's a mistake. Addiction and mental health, for the most part, go hand in hand. So if you don't fix one, you're still going to have the other one, and they kind of go together. So that is something I did not know. That's why I'm sharing with you, because I hope that nobody has to go through what I went through. That first 5 years in recovery was really difficult. I was still very suicidal. So the thing is that when I was actively using, I kind of thought maybe I would die. I would kill myself somehow. And I was kind of okay with that. And once I got sober, I realized I could live for a really long time. And that was scary for me. I was really unhappy and miserable. And so through recovery, I found long periods of time of happiness, like weeks, and sometimes even months. But then I would hit a wall again and I would start feeling depressed and suicidal. And I just got tired of living that way. And I never really felt entirely happy. I just didn't feel suicidal, I guess. So about 3 years ago, I hit my emotional bottom and I was done. I wanted to check out and I started planning my suicide. And luckily for me, my family saw the signs and knew something was going on, and they intervened again, as they did with my active addiction when I was using. And they had wanted to get me into the hospital. They wanted to get me on drugs, and that's not what I wanted. I have been sober and did not want to get on any medication. For some people, that really helps, but I really wanted to do it without medication. So, I just asked them to give me some time to get some stuff figured out. I promised them that I would work on it, and that if I felt that way again, that I would get on medication and I would stay on medication. So that began my journey. So the first thing I did, I knew that I was spiritually empty. So I started working my spirituality. And I started going to church, which is something I'd never done in my life. And I started asking lots of questions at church. I'm not a person to follow blindly and just go with what somebody tells me. So I found a gentleman at the church that was very involved with the church, and he helped me a lot. He answered a lot of questions about the Bible and about the things that the pastor was saying. And I know that I drove him very crazy and probably annoyed the crap out of him, but he was really patient with me and answered a lot of questions. So um, that was the beginning of my spiritual journey. I was also given this book. Actually, I'm going to go grab it right now. So just stay right here. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. So let me just get comfortable here. So my sister gave me this book. It's called The Shack. It's by William P. Young. And a lot of people in recovery know this book. This is a really amazing book. I feel like it saved my life. I work in an addiction treatment center, and I give this book to clients because I don't think I would be where I am without reading this book. It really helped me understand God, and it actually gave me a relationship that I never had with God, and it helped my spirituality. So church has not really worked out for me. I learned a lot, but it wasn't really for me. It helped me gain a relationship with God, which is really important. So I have a strong relationship with God. The way my relationship with God is probably very different than other people's, but it has helped me so much. So that's one of the most important things that changed for me. But it was the beginning for me. So once I was able to fix myself spiritually, I was able to move on to some other things. So there's a few things that I do every single day. So for me, depression, suicidal thoughts, mental health, all that stuff, I've learned to treat it like I do my addiction. So every single day I have to work on staying sober, and every single day I have to work on being happy. It doesn't happen just naturally for me anyways. It just doesn't. I don't wake up happy every day. It's not something that is just in me to be happy. So every day I wake up, and as soon as I wake up, I feel negative. So what I do every day is when I wake up, the first thing before I even step out of bed is feed myself positive things. I tell myself every day that it's going to be an amazing day. I'm going to meet great people. And life is good. I just tell myself that every single day before I get out of bed. This is going to be a great day. I'm going to meet amazing people. I'm going to have my spirit fed. Yeah, so that's what I do. What I also do is I meditate. I'm not good at meditating on my own. I do a lot of guided meditation that I find on YouTube. I've actually gotten a little bit better at meditating on my own, but I also have to be doing something. So what I do a lot of times is at work, we have a very large campus. So while I'm walking from one building to the next, it's also kind of like out in the woods. It's very beautiful setting. So I meditate during the walk, just listening to nature and taking in the sun, feeling it on my skin, and just really kind of feeling everything around me. So that's a meditation that I do every day. But like I said, I also go on YouTube and find guided meditations that I'll do before I get out of bed in the morning or after I work out in the morning. So that's really helpful. Finding the time for yourself, just a few minutes. It could be 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of meditation to ground yourself. And, life is busy. We're running all the time. We're going, and we're not taking time for ourselves. So that those few minutes to just kind of, breathe, take some time, ground yourself, and move on with your day. Really, really important. So also working out is something that I try and do. I don't have a lot of time. I'm busy, busy, busy. So I try to get up before I go to work and work out. So 5:30, I try and set my alarm and get up. Doesn't happen all the time. I'm 47 years old and I'm exhausted. So I do my best. But like I said, I have a large campus at work, so I take every opportunity to walk to every location that I can. I try not to drive anywhere so that I can get at least exercise that way. So finding ways to exercise is important. I watch a lot of motivational videos. So if you go on YouTube, put in motivational speakers, motivational videos, whatever, you'll get a ton that come up. Really inspiring for me. It helps pump me up, get me ready, get me excited. And it's also taught me a lot of things. One of the things that I tell myself all the time is that I'm not good enough. I don't deserve what other people have. I'm never going to get that stuff. And watching these videos reminds me that there is no reason why I don't deserve what other people have, or what I want out of life. So it just is a constant reminder that what I want out of life, I can get. So for me, I can be told something once or twice, but it's not going to stick in my head. I need this stuff pounded into my head. So I watch them a lot. One of my favorite speakers is Mel Robbins. She is amazing. She's very motivational, and I respect her as a woman as well. And she's awesome. So check her out. So also affirmations. I do affirmations on a regular basis. I have stickies on my wall next to my vanity, next to my mirror, saying things like, you're strong, you're beautiful, be proud, things like that, just to remind myself that, that I am a strong person and that I can do whatever I want to do. And also as a woman, I have major insecurities, and, accepting myself as I am today, getting older, it's a little bit tough sometimes, accepting our bodies and the wrinkles and all those things. So I have to remind myself that I'm beautiful just the way I am. And so putting the stickies on the wall helps remind me that I'm okay the way I am. The other thing that helps me is support groups. So I run support groups for work, which are really helpful, but I also like to do things for myself. So I have one group in particular that I really love, and it is a 12-step Bible study. It is amazing. So it takes the 12 steps for recovery from addiction and the Bible, and it kind of puts them together. So you're working on two at the same time. And I think it's completely, oh my God, it's amazing. So I go to that once a week, and it feeds me spiritually and also helps me in my recovery. So without that group, I feel it. If I don't go to that group, I can maybe miss a week, but if I miss more than 1 week, I start to feel it. So definitely find groups that help lift you up. I've also personally started some goddess groups. I haven't been doing it for a little while, probably a couple months because of summer and everybody's on vacation, but I definitely plan to start them up again in the fall when everybody kind of starts to calm down. So I get a bunch of women together and we do meditation, and we do affirmations. We talk about the things that we want lifted from us, like self-doubt and self-hatred, stuff like that. We talk about things that we want brought to us. So it kind of depends on the moon cycle, what we're asking for, but self-love, strength, all those kind of things that we want to get into our soul. So, and it's really just a place for us to lift each other up as women. So find groups that make you feel good and support you. Also just I continue to look for ways to feed myself spiritually, reading books, praying. The goddess groups feed me spiritually as well. So those are some of the things that I do to stay mentally healthy. So what I've learned on my journey is that just as in recovery from drugs and alcohol, you have to work on that every single day. And it's the same thing with mental health. So every day I have to work on these things, because if I allow myself to slip back into my normal mode of miserable and negative, that's when I have no control. So what happens for me is once that darkness of the depression takes over me, I feel as if I have no control over it. It's like part of my brain takes over that I cannot get control back of. So it's important for me to work on those things every day so that the part of my brain that is positive can be the one that's in control. So I have to feed the positive. Otherwise that negative part of my brain just takes right over. So every single day I have to work on my happiness. For me, it's not natural. So, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't understand depression, who maybe never been through it. Ugh, so jealous of you. But try not to judge. If you don't understand it, maybe ask some questions of somebody. Maybe they can help you understand it. But it's not something that we choose. We don't choose to be depressed. We don't choose to be miserable. We can sit in it and we can wallow in it. And there are things that we can do to make it better, but it's not necessarily out there. Nobody talks about this. This is not something that people talk about on a regular basis. It's hard for people to reach out for help because there is so much stigma around mental health issues. So, there may be somebody out there that you don't even know who is struggling with depression. So something that you say negative about depression or about people who are addicts may make it so somebody doesn't reach out for help. So just please be aware of the things that you say about people who have mental health issues and addiction. And I am more than willing to answer any questions that anybody has about either one of those things. So anyways, I hope that helps somebody out there. And if you have any questions, put them down below. Hit me up on Facebook. So that's all I have for today. I hope that helps somebody. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.